Hello, everyone. Today we are going to be talking about how to use Coastal Connections. I know many of you may have been introduced to Coastal Connections as a freshman during your orientation process, but we're also aware that many of you are also transfer students, international students, or maybe you just forgot Coastal Connections existed. So today we are going to go over how to use Coastal Connections. But before I get into how to use Coastal Connections, what I'd like to go over is why student engagement is important in the first place. So, according to an Ohio State study published in 2020, involvement in campus beyond the classroom is actually linked to increased academic achievement, belonging, and interest from potential employers. So, we're actually seeing students who are involved in on campus clubs, sports, Greek life. We're seeing that they tend to have better grades than their peers who aren't involved. They tend to retain the information that they're learning in the classroom at a higher rate. They tend to report having better mental health. And in addition to this, they are developing leadership skills, which are very attractive to future employers after they graduate. So clearly, there's a lot of benefits to reap from being involved on campus. Now, unfortunately, Inside Higher Ed notes that first generation students are among the least likely to get involved in extracurricular activities. Additionally, ethnic minority students and students who work part time in college are also least likely to get involved on campus. Um, but right now, we'd like to close that gap. So here at Coastal, luckily, we want to make sure that all students, regardless of income, ethnic background, or other factors, have the opportunity to get involved on campus in any way, big or small, so that you can achieve your full potential. So whether that is just doing a club sport, being the president of your fraternity, or even just something small, just going to a local sports game here on campus or participating in the sustainability fair. We really just want to get you guys out there and make sure you're aware of the events that are happening on campus. So now we are going to get into showing you how you can actually use Coastal Connections to get involved on campus. So to start, you can go ahead and open your preferred browser and go ahead and search for Coastal Connections. And the first thing that should come up is Anthology's Campus Labs. Of course, if this doesn't come up though, you can always find the link to Coastal Connections on CCU's webpage under Student Life. So now in the upper right hand corner, I'm going to go ahead and click the blue sign in button. And I'm just going to sign in using my regular Coastal email stuff. So now this is going to take us to the Coastal Connections homepage. And so we can see here there's events that are going on campus that I can explore. So for example, let me go ahead and click on casting calls. And so it gives me a location and a date and time so I know where the event is. And then there's also a description of who can participate and what they should bring with them. And then also we can see what organization on campus is hosting the event. So let's go ahead and explore another event. We can see here we have the International Club. It looks like they're hosting a professional thrift shop. And so again, we see that there's the time and place for the event. There's a little description about it, and then we can see the organization that's hosting it. In addition to exploring events that are happening on campus, Coastal Connections also lets you explore clubs and student organizations on campus. So if we go to the left side, we see organizations here. And here it brings us to a comprehensive list of all the student organizations on campus. So maybe I'm really wanting to get involved in something faith-based. I can filter out the organizations here on the left, and I'm going to go ahead and click on faith-based, and see here it brings me all of the faith-based organizations. Maybe though I already know exactly the club that I want to join. I know the name of it. So for example, I'm going to come up in the top search bar and I'm going to look for the International Club. And so it comes up here. And so this brings me to the International Club's Coastal Connections page. So I can see here there's a button if I want to join. I can also access their contact information if I have any questions about the club. And there's a little blurb here about what they're all about. There's also links to their Instagram as well, and I can see that they don't charge any membership fees. And then if we come down, there's also upcoming events that the club is hosting. So it looks like they have a kayaking trip coming up, and the club's also going to be going to the Carolina State Fair here soon. And then finally, at the bottom, we have people who are currently members of the International Club. So as you start to get involved on campus and you start joining organizations and going to clubs, Coastal Connections will start to recommend events for you, and they'll also keep track of the organizations you're part of. So for example, I'm part of First Generation Initiatives, so I can click on that. And again, we see who we are, what we're all about, how to contact us. There's pictures of recent events we've done, and you can also find our Instagram. So, I hope you guys now have a better idea of what Coastal Connections is and how it can help you in your college career.